In a men's tennis era that has shifted gears from the big three to the dynamic duopoly of Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz, who now hold a stunning grip on the last 7 Grand Slam titles, one man sees cracks forming in their dominance. Tommy Paul's coach, Brad Stine, isn't buying into an untouchable narrative. As the US Open draws near, Stine makes a thunderous call. American stars are primed to pose a real threat to Sinner and Alcaraz. With fearless momentum and hard-court hunger, the red, white, and blue brigade could just shake the Grand Slam balance in New York. In a men's tennis era that has shifted gears from the big three to the dynamic duopoly of Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz, who now hold a stunning grip on the last 7 Grand Slam titles, one man sees cracks forming in their dominance. Tommy Paul's coach, Brad Stine, isn't buying into an untouchable narrative. As the US Open draws near, Stine makes a thunderous call. American stars are primed to pose a real threat to Sinner and Alcaraz. With fearless momentum and hard-court hunger, the red, white, and blue brigade could just shake the Grand Slam balance in New York. In the latest episode of the Sit Down podcast, Brad Stine, coach to American star Tommy Paul, laid down a powerful message for the future of American men's tennis. When asked what he's hoping for in the current landscape of the ATP Tour, Stine didn't shy away from acknowledging the towering dominance of Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner. We do need to keep pushing forward. And I think that the guys that are very top of the game have established the fact that they can compete and win against virtually everybody on the tour, he emphasized with conviction. Yet, he didn't sugarcoat the reality either. It's getting tough again, with Carlos and Jannik. They have separated themselves a little bit from the pack, Stine added. The coach acknowledged that with Alcaraz and Sinner now ranked number 1 and number 2, chasing Grand Slam glory demands something Herculean. To win a big title, you got to maybe beat both of them, and that's a tough ask, he admitted. But Stine isn't in the business of bowing down. With the US Open charging into view, he raised the American flag with pride. But on a given day, I think, all the American guys are capable of beating any of the top players, he stated. His voice carried a tone of challenge, not caution. So yeah, American tennis is in a great place and we are very happy to see it. The sentiment from the American camp is roaring and relentless. Yet, there's more heat. Former US Open champion Dominic Thiem has also weighed in on the Alcaraz, Sinner era. And guess what? His take might just be as intriguing and defiant as that of Tommy Paul's coach. In the past 2 months, tennis fans have witnessed the Alcaraz-Sinner rivalry ascend into legendary territory. Their clash at Roland Garros was nothing short of gladiatorial. Carlos Alcaraz roared back from 2 sets down, saving 3 championship points before clinching the title in a 5th-set tiebreak. Clocking in at 5 hours and 29 minutes, the battle now stands as the second-longest Grand Slam final in history, a war of attrition, heart, and steel nerves. But Jannik Sinner wasn't done. At Wimbledon, he turned the tide, unleashing his finest tennis to dethrone Alcaraz in 4 sets. With that, Sinner claimed his first Wimbledon title, snapped the Spaniard's 24-match winning streak, and halted his quest for a 3rd straight crown on London's sacred lawns. The balance of power had shifted again. Reacting to their recent fireworks, 2020 US Open champion Dominic Thiem offered a deep, layered verdict in Cronash D tennis. The finals at Roland Garros and Wimbledon were incredible, he said. They raised the level of the sport beyond what we were used to. He marveled at the blend of power and precision both men bring. Faster tennis, fewer errors, relentless movement. I didn't expect 2 more generational talents to come so quickly after the big 3, Thiem added. And Novak Djokovic keeps playing. That last note reminded us the old guard still casts a long shadow. But the Austrian also cracked open a window of hope for others. Today, they have too much of a lead. But they can also lose, he said, pointing to Dimitrov, Zverev, Fritz, and Draper as men who, on a perfect day, could topple the Titans. With the US Open looming, the American brigade, especially Taylor Fritz, who bowed to Sinner at Wimbledon, might have a score to settle. Could they derail the Sinner-Alcaraz express? Dominance today doesn't guarantee forever. As Thiem mused, he would have relished the chance to face this new wave at his peak. We may never know how those battles would have unfolded, but one thing is clear. The sparks in New York are about to fly.